So I played Skylanders Imaginators recently, and I need to talk about it. This game made me feel emotions mankind has yet to discover. It left me jaw-dropped at every plot point, like I lost my mind playing this game. It was one of the experiences of all time. So today we're going to talk about everyone's favorite part of Imaginators, the story. I'll be going through my experience playing this story so that you can feel what I felt while playing this game. Also, I know you're probably expecting me to dog on this game, but I think this game deserves to have its positives talked about as well as its weird parts. It's such a weird game. But this is not an Imaginators hate video in any way. I am not a little hater. So anyway, let's get into the game now. So for anyone not in the know, I'm gonna rip the band-aid off. The Skylanders talk in this game and are active characters in the story and are not just mostly silent heroes controlled by the Portal Master. And controversial take alert, I actually like this change. Yes, I wish they used more than just the Academy cast, but I think this would be a great start to making the Skylanders all into active characters. And I, for the most part, think their personalities were done great too. Sometimes Stealth Elf doesn't talk like I think she should, and Spyro can sure be Spyro, but other than that, they're all great. Except for Eruptor. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. He should not be here. He brings nothing to the table. But Jetvac? Oh my god, Jetvac. I'm so excited to gush about him when we get to his part of the story. But now that that's out of the way, we can get into the actual story. The intro cutscene happens where Spyro and Stealth Elf have some friendly competition before the darkness heads into the library and, whoa, a monster! And a bad joke!
I bet it doesn't have a library card.
So the heroes are getting beat up by the monster, and then the senseis come in to save the other Skylanders, and there's like a, whoa, you know these guys moment? And yeah, me too, Spyro. I would love to know how Stealth Elf knows the senseis, but too bad it's never brought up again. The actual game starts with Spyro flying over some forest place. He's there both to take down the monster guy and also meet the Imaginator. I was not using an Imaginator while I was playing. I was using Kingpin. So the plot is not what I was focused on in this scene though. No. What I was focused on is Matt Mercer Spyro. Spyro in this game is voiced by Matt Mercer and it kinda goes hard. I love this more than I think I should. It sounds so good. It's so satisfying to listen to. So basic Skylanders tutorial stuff happens in this level until we get to the purple area. Spyro makes a terrible pun while we hear that made me laugh.
Skylander, you are amazing. Get it?
And would you look at that, it's Kaos time! So Kaos is using mind magic, don't ask what mind magic is or how it works, to make his own Skylanders called Doomlanders so he can take over the world because he's Chaos, and now you have to fight one of his Doomlanders. We defeat his Doomlander with not Kingpin. I did end up using my Imaginator here, who is just some mysterious powerful guy named Eric. No pun, just Eric. Anyway, Kaos is mad we beat him, but he says it's all fine because he got some book that'll make him and his creations more powerful.
Which will surely spell doom for you sky losers. D-O-O-M! See? I just spelled it.
He sounds so proud that he can spell a 4-letter word. Then Kaos leaves, and that's it. That's the first level. It sure is a first Skylanders level, tutorials and all. It's a very nothing burger level, but also it's a tutorial level, so like, We meet Spyro at the MAP, Mysterious Ancient Place, and while you're talking to him, Stealth Elf appears out of nowhere and scares him, and I thought that was cute. So we go to the Academy to save Flynn from the library, and he is his usual annoying self. Then we talk with the gang and learn that Kaos is trying to get Imaginite from the Mushroom River. Also, they mention how Imaginite is the building blocks of creation and that the ancients used it to create the universe, and all I can think is, wait, really? When was that established? Or was that just brought up in this game and never before? But anyway, we have to go to the Mushroom River, and we go there, and woo, on to level 2. Also, while I'm on the MAP, I learned how to play Creation Clash, but not important. Alright, level 2 time for real. We find Gilgrunt napping on the job, and we talk to him for a bit. Then Spyro makes another stupid joke that makes me laugh.
Well, I'm teeming with anticipation. Let's go, team!
And now it's gameplay time. This level looks pretty nice, I think. I like the foggy mushroom forest vibes. Also in this level we meet a Raptor and I don't like him, and that's the end of the discussion about him. We do all the Skylanders stuff and go through the level, and oh wow, it's Kaos, who would have guessed? We beat up his Doomlander and that's it, that's the end of the level. Also, they call me an Imaginator, and I am not playing as an Imaginator. I just thought that was funny. And now we get our first Chaos scene! Yay! Can you tell these are my favorite part? Chaos wants to make his Doomlander stronger, but can't figure out how. Glumshanks makes fun of Chaos, and Pop-Off King, he deserves it.
It's those ancients and their miserable secrets.
Chaos is so pissed at those ancients and their miserable secrets, but he realizes that if he knows their secrets, he can make his guys stronger, so off to the secret society place they go. So the story really has gone nowhere so far, but it gets wild in a bit, trust me. The Skylanders somehow heard that Chaos is going to the secret place, so they go to the secret place to stop him from getting those secrets. Spyro is the most annoying guy on the planet again, and now it's gameplay time. The level is, it sure is a normal town level. The aesthetic doesn't really vibe with me, and that's okay. Also, Stealth Elf suggests that she and the Skylander shoot themselves through cannons to get around, and honestly, she is such a girl boss for that. Eventually, we have to fight a Doomlander, surprise surprise, and apparently Chaos is looking for something called the Helm of Ultimate Wisdom. What it does exactly is unclear. You'll find that things being unclear is a common event in this story. We beat up his Doomlander and go to the place Chaos is at, and we enter by the sewers? And there's a giant monster in the water? How did Chaos not get killed by that thing? I don't know. So we follow the monster to the end of the sewers, and the helm is there? Why is it there of all places? And why did it just appear? And then Chaos grabs it with his mind somehow, and he's out of there, so we're left to kill the monster. We do kill the monster, but we lost the war to Chaos because he got the helmet. I cannot believe this. Chaos scene now, woo! Apparently... I wrote he helm in the script. I'm keeping that mistake in, I think. Apparently he helm tells him all the secrets of the ancients. Okay. And when he puts it on, it physically picks him up with like a magic vortex and sends him into the mind realm, where he meets a giant brain who says he is the smartest brain in the known universe, and then says this?
I will even say a big word to prove my intelligence. Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Yeah, so this is about where the story starts to get insane. So anyway, he can like grant knowledge / wishes / power or something. It's not really clear, but yeah, he gives Chaos the power to make his Doomlanders better, and that's that. Also, I like how Chaos acts in this scene, where he's kind of like in awe and very confused, but still like super genuinely curious about this brain guy and what he is, but then he like snaps himself out of it to act like a jerk again. So good. So this is it. This is where the game starts to get insane. This is the start of me losing my mind at this game, and I'm sure you can tell by my reaction to the brain scene, but yeah, it gets more insane, so keep looking forward to it. So back on the MAP, Jetpack tells us there's a giant vortex that just appeared? Okay, man. And I will say, during my replay of this game that I did to get the footage for this video, I clapped when Jetpack came on screen because he is awesome and I'm so excited to talk about him. Him and his British accent. Anyway, we go to the academy to get a thing that can like suck up vortexes. Why do they have this, and why does it look like that? And Jetpack makes trail mix for the team. Oh, what a nice guy. Back on the MAP again, we get the Yo Guys line, and Stealth Elf is just obsessed with shooting people out of cannons, I guess. But it did get us to the vortex, so like, pop off, girl boss? Level time now. We are now at the place where the vortex is, and Jetpack stares into it and almost gets hypnotized? How? How does that work even? Also, his eyes in the scene remind me of this meme. Anyway, as for the actual level, I think it's interesting. It's basically a floating beach with no water, and it looks kinda cool, I think. Also, the shark enemy that's just... that? Thank you for that, Nightmare Fuel. During the exploration, we also get the hardest Skystones fight in the game for some reason, and I won, by the way. So eventually we fight Chaos's new Doomlander, and we win, what a shocker, and then we destroy the vortex. Also, Jetpack fakes us out for some reason, and
I'm just messing with you. Seriously though.
god, the way he laughs about it, like, his tone in this scene, he's so great. Anyway, we destroy the vortex and yippee, level over! After that, we get a cutscene where the gang is contacted by Kaos, who says they're gonna get obliterated, and then does this.
And your utter destruction!
I don't know why we as a community don't talk about that moment more. I say we as a community as if I'm in the community when this is my first Skylanders video. I hope I'm in the community after making this video. So then Kaos's monster shows up and it's this. Okay, so I know we as a community have said how dumb and cringe this is like 1,000 times, but yeah, it's still dumb and cringe. Haha, you thought I would say something positive, didn't you? Listen, I give all media I consume the most good faith examinations I possibly can, and I still don't like this. And that is okay. We can all collectively not like this. So instead of talking about this, we should be talking about Kaos's blep for moments before. Alright, so we, the Skylander, and Jetvac have to use a battleship to kill the monster, but apparently vultures have taken over the battleship, so we have to get rid of them first. And also, I don't know why Jetvac has, like, such a disdain for vultures. Like, where did this come from? Like, he is so harsh. Like, damn, man. I know they stole his food, but, like, wow, dude.
Ah, vultures! Nature's cruelest mistake.
Is this an Academy thing? It's probably an Academy thing, but I haven't watched the show, so like I wouldn't know. So this level is kinda a generic battleship hangar level, and like it's alright. If I were to rate this level, it is a 6 out of 10. It's good, but it's not like mind-blowing. I do appreciate Jetvac's insightful commentary while we go through the place though.
I'm no mathematician, but that just leaves one more to go.
Also, the physics on the wrecking ball part are... I do not like them. So anyway, eventually we take back the ship from the vultures, and we have to fight another Doomlander, who would have guessed, and then after we beat them, we can go to the real boss fight against the monster. And nobody likes this thing, so instead of talking about that, let's talk about Jetvac! I have no deep, insightful character examination of Jetvac. I just really like him. He is the character of all time. He just seems like such a nice little guy. He is the most normal guy of the Skylanders, and yet he is so not normal. Also, his voice, he is so aggressively British, and it's amazing. He sounds so good, and he uses like British slang like blast and capital. Also, the way he talks makes him sound so genuine for some reason. He sounds like he wears his heart on his sleeve, and I cannot explain why. I guess I like him so much because he's both very intelligent and put together, but also very goofy and weird. He's just a great character. We stan Jetvac in this household. Jetvac talk over now, back to the rest of the game. Alright, so now that that boss fight is over, it's time for a Kaos cutscene. Woo! Kaos is pissed that his monster lost, but he really shouldn't be surprised because it's that thing. He blames Brain for this, and then Brain talks to him from the bird. Kaos chews him out and like, yes, pop off, king. Brain says he'll make something else for Kaos, and Kaos struggles to explain what he wants because he's a weird guy who just can't be honest or express his thoughts properly for some reason. And when Brain shoots him in the face to make it happen, he makes this noise. Incredible. Also, how do Brain's powers work exactly? He just says the magic phrase, shoots his subject in the face, and boom, stuff happens? I'd really like to know how Brain's powers work, please. Anyway, Kaos has a new plan, so that's great for him, I guess. So that's the end of that part. I really like how in this cutscene, after Kaos screams and falls on the floor, Glumshanks almost immediately comes in to check on him, like he has some kind of internal system that tells him if his master has been potentially injured, and I think that's kind of sweet. Glumshanks is actually a really sweet character. I think everyone needs to talk about him more. And him and Kaos's relationship, too, is really interesting. It's kind of that villain-underling with slightly abusive vibes thing a lot of villains and underlings have going on, but also their relationship has a different feel to it somehow. Maybe I should make a video talking about them. I am not a stranger to talking about these kinds of villain-underling relationships. Insert shameless self-promo here. After that cutscene, we are back on the MAP, and Pop Fizz is like, Kaos, and everyone's like, well, let's go stop him. So I don't know the Fizzland lore, maybe it's an Academy thing, but like, why does nobody believe Pop Fizz when he says Fizzland is real? Like, it's clearly real, it's right here on the MAP, like, come on guys. In the start of the level cutscene, Pop Fizz goes beast mode. It says play Mr. Beast sound effect in the script. Anyway, Pop Fizz goes beast mode and tries to attack Kaos's floating head, and I think that's really funny. So apparently Kaos is looking for the potions that make Pop Fizz go beast mode, but I thought he just made those himself, like mad scientist style, not that they were manufactured at some factory place. I don't know, man, I don't like that. I'm gonna stick with my mad scientist Pop Fizz headcanon. Also, I like that Pop Fizz just appears after he falls. I like that fourth wall break. So this level is actually kinda neat. I like how it looks a lot. The colors and the plastic look and the patterns on the floors and stuff, like, it's nice looking. I like it. It's a level with a world switching thing, kinda like the Willikin Village from Giants. And I'll be honest, the world switching isn't as interesting aesthetically as the Willikin Village level, but it's alright. I like seeing Pop Fizz in this level too. He's quite a treat. He's both very intelligent and very stupid. He is just such a strange little man who does weird little things. So anyway, yeah, we beat Kaos's Doomlander, who would have guessed, and he never gets to figure out how Pop Fizz's potions work. So that was very pointless. In the Kaos cutscene, Kaos is very upset because yeah, that was very pointless. He tries to beat up Brain, but Brain is a bird and Kaos is physically incompetent. Brain makes fun of him for a bit before telling him mind magic requires a lot of brain, and then Kaos decides to practice his mind magic on glumshanks. The man just made him some hot chocolate, and Kaos repays him by traumatizing him and morphing his body with no warning or consent. That is messed up. So Brain wants to get out of prison so that him and Kaos can combine their mind magic and take over the world. And Kaos is totally down for that, I guess. So yeah, weird part of the story again. Man, things just happen in this game. Also, when was Brain put in the prison? And why was he put in the prison? And why is the prison in an arcade? So Stealth Elf was spying on Kaos and tells us that Kaos has some higher power working for him. And Pop Fizz says this.
And we're still winning! Man, that guy just can't catch a break, can he?
I appreciate his confidence. So now we have to figure out where the arcade place is, and to do that we have to win a Sky Stones tournament, so we do that and then we go to the level, woo. So when you get into the level you have to deal with a robotic bouncer to get into the arcade, and for some reason Trigger Happy is there. And when you get into the place, an Australian wolf man sings until you crash into the building. Who is this man? Apparently his name is Sal, and he's Wolfgang's twin brother, and my only question here is, wait, what? Wolfgang had a twin brother? I've never played Trap Team, so I guess I wouldn't know, or maybe this is an Academy thing, which I also wouldn't know, but wow, that's wild. So you, the Skylander, now have to play games at the arcade until you can get into the vault? Why do they have a massive floating vault? This level looks pretty cool, I will say. From the outside to the inside, it looks very shiny and expensive, and I like it. I like all the money everywhere and the carpets that I know just smell awful. I can't even explain it, it's just a fact. The level is kind of short though. So yeah, we do arcade stuff and beat up Kaos's Doomlander inside a video game.
Say, you're quite the gamer, aren't you?
Then we go to the vault and open it up, and Brain is inside the box. Why is he in the box? Who put him here? How long has he been here? So anyway, Brain flies off to see Kaos without even thanking us for freeing him. Very rude. Brain gets to Kaos, and they are now literally going to put their heads together to somehow use mind magic, but really strong somehow. I don't know how. I really wish they explained how this works. Like, is Brain a parasite who needs a host in order to reach his full power? Because that would be sick as hell if they actually went, like, 100% in that direction. Like, if his tentacles dug into Kaos and you could see his power, like, coursing through his veins, and then it, like, mutates Kaos's body into his final boss form, oh, that would be so sick. This is a missed opportunity, guys. But anyway, Glumshanks comes in and sees Brain on Kaos's head and passes out from shock, which is like, Glumshanks, have you ever seen a brain? Why is this so shocking? Kaos has had lots of weird underlings. How is this so crazy to you? Now Kaos and Brain use their combined powers to, hypnotize all of the people in Skylands, including the Skylanders. What? Why can they do this? How can they do this? Mind magic doesn't equal mind control magic. What is happening? Also, why is Brain sitting on the helmet, and since when did the helmet have a chair for him? Is this thing his? Like, did he make it? Where did this thing come from? Why is it brain-sized? So for some reason, Spyro is unaffected by the mind control magic and goes to get the Portamaster Skylander to help him because for some reason they aren't affected either. Also, I would like to show you Spyro's explanation for why he didn't get mind controlled.
Of course, I'm totally immune because I am A, a dragon, and B, awesome.
That makes no sense. Also, he says dragon magic stopped Brain's mind control many years ago, and like, when was this a thing? What happened between Brain and the dragons? You know, a lot of my questions would so easily be answered by just like one cutscene that explains Brain's backstory. Anyway, Spyro says we should just go get help from the dragons to stop Brain. So we go to the dragon place. Okay, so the dragon level is fine, it looks nice, but I have questions. So Spyro says that the trial things you do throughout the level are all things dragons have to do as a coming of age thing, and he says he had to do them, but no he didn't. He didn't grow up in Skylands, he is Spyro from the Spyro world. He never had to do this stuff. Unless this is also a thing in Academy canon, but this is a mainline Skylanders game. You can't just have Academy canon mixed in with the original canon and expect everything to work out, because stuff like this happens. So anyway, we beat Kaos's Doomlander. Sorry, we beat Kaos's Doomlander. We beat Kaos's Doomlander. Oh my god. So yeah, I was replaying the game on Nightmare mode for this video, and this is where the game started to get really hard. So I tried to use some non-Imaginators, Skylanders, to finish the fight, and they dropped like flies. So instead of trying to use every single Skylander I own to finish this fight, I just left the level and grinded all my guys up to max and tried again. And I did it. That made me very scared of what would come next in the playthrough, but it would be fine. It'll be fine. Anyway, after we win for real, we save the dragons, and they say they can in fact help with the brain problem, and I'm just gonna show you this because no words can describe this scene.
Okie dokie, I guess that is what we're doing.
This is one of those moments in this game where my jaw is just on the floor. What the hell? But somehow it works and everyone is unmind controlled. Wow! So now that everyone is normal again, the team is almost ready to go take down Kaos, but they have to figure out how to get into its fortress. The plan they come up with is to make a giant cake and hide inside it like it's a Trojan horse. So the goal now is to go around and collect cake ingredients for said cake. I'll be honest, this part of the game is not that interesting, you're kind of just running around doing side quests to get cake ingredients, so instead, I will talk about something more interesting. My Imaginators Skylanders! So here they are, not very many I know. So first there's Kingpin, he's fine, I like how he walks. And then there's Golden Queen. She is a pretty woman. I've heard people say she's a mid-Skylander, but I like her a lot. I have Wolfgang. He's not very good, but I like him, and he's Australian. There's Crash Bandicoot. He's alright. I'm not a big Crash fan, but maybe I would be eating my words if I actually played a Crash game like Crash 4 maybe. I've only dabbled in the first 3 and they don't really have much dialogue in their stories, and I need talking. I need character interaction. I need story. So comment below your favorite Crash game with talking and character interaction and story so that I can play it and become a real Crash fan. Tangent over. And with Crash is of course Cortex. He's probably the worst Skylander I own for this game. But also he carried one of the boss fights really hard, so maybe he's good. Then there's the fire Imaginator I mentioned before, Eric. But I also have an undead Imaginator named Big Man. and a light imaginator named because I couldn't think of a name. Then there's the two I really like a lot, which are ironically the two I don't own but am borrowing from a family member. First is Crankcase. He's really fun. You just shoot some goo and spin around and it's awesome. Also, I love Crankcase's design and personality and voice. He's just super cool. I can't wait to play Trap Team so I can actually experience him in the story. Also, yeah, embarrassing, but I've never played Trap Team. It was the one Skylanders game I didn't own as a kid, but I have bought it and I will play it. Anyway, my other favorite is Kaos Sensei, who would have guessed. Kaos is awesome and he is super busted to play as. He's strong and his moves are satisfying to watch. Also, I love his voice clips because his personality is exactly the same, but he's a Skylander now, so like, he still hates the Skylanders, but he is a Skylander, and that's such an interesting dynamic. I wish there was more story for him because it would be fun to see him trying to be a Skylander while also being evil still, kind of. Anyway, that's all my Skylanders. Back to the game now. So we've gotten all the cake ingredients and it's time to make that cake. And for some reason we need to go to an abandoned amusement park to make it. The amusement park level, which is just called Abandoned Amusement Park for some reason, even though you can hear in the announcements at the park that it has a name, it's Amusement Land, which is painfully generic, but it's better than nothing. Sorry, tangent over. The level is, in concept, a cool thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't really look like an amusement park. The aesthetic is not strong with this one, but the announcements throughout the level do a lot of fun world building for this place. Like, the announcement lady says that basically everything is broken down and not properly safety tested and they have no security people. Like, this place is wild. Unfortunately, this is another level with Eruptor, who I do not like, so I will not talk about him. Besides, the story isn't really interesting in this level, we just make a cake. I do like Mags though, she's very southern. Also, yes, we get to the end and beat up Kaos's Doomlander. Oh man, who would have guessed? At least this is the last one. Anyway, so the cake is done, and the next level will be the raid on Kaos's castle. So we are at the end, and pretty much, honestly, when I played this game, I was not ready for the last level. It gets wild. The scene starts with Kaos being unhappy that the people he's taken over are mindless slaves, and Brain is like, nah, it's way better this way, trust me, bro. And actually, that's a really interesting thing about Kaos. He wants to take over Skylands in such a specific way. He wants people to both fear and respect him. This could have been such an interesting conflict between him and Brain, but of course they do nothing with that. Also, Brain mentions his past with the Ancients, and I'm like, please actually explain to me what happened. Don't just give me scraps here. So Brain, like, rebelled against the Ancients in some way and then got trapped in the jar and put in the prison. But why? What did he do? Why did he rebel against the Ancients? What were they doing? What is the drama here? Like, what happened? I'll never know, so I should stop asking. Anyway, so the gang pulls up at Kaos's castle to give him the cake, and Kaos accepts and says this.
Did you hear that, glumshanks? An evil birthday cake. Even my own mother never.
That is so sad. Kaos, no. So Kaos lets them in because of the trauma, and yeah, he sure did fall for it. Jetvac says the worst one-liner ever, I think.
Happy unbirthday, sucker!
And then Kaos in return drops the plot twist of all time.
Well, you know something, jerkbag? I've got some shocking news for you, too. I'm the one who stole your lunch earlier.
Chaos!
This is pure cinema. So it's level time now, and the start isn't really that interesting. It's just a Kaos's castle level, which I do like. Like, his castle is pretty, and I like the beam puzzles they put in it. Well, puzzles isn't really the right word. Like, you don't have to think about them. They're kind of just timers with extra steps, but I still think they're neat. Also, Golden Queen carried so hard in this level. Good job, Queen. The second half of this level is more of the same, but it's presented as Kaos hosting a game show where it's him versus the Skylander, and I just love Glumshanks trying to sound enthusiastic while hosting it. It is so funny.
Welcome to the Lord Chaos Super Awesome Challenge!
He sounds so depressed. He is such a weird little guy, like he's trying so hard to sound enthusiastic, but he just can't. Anyway, yeah, we get to the end of the game show, and we get to the boss fight. In the cutscene before the fight, Brain seems so fed up with Chaos, and honestly, pop off King, he deserves it. Like, look at how he gives his power to Chaos, he's so sassy with it.
Whatevs. Presto, Braino, and so forth.
So yeah, Brain powers up Chaos and it's boss fight time. The fight was surprisingly not that hard, even though I played on Nightmare mode. You can see me using Cortex and Crash at first because I thought I was gonna die so much and I didn't. I don't know if I'm disappointed or happy that I didn't have to feel the pain. At multiple points in the fight, Chaos and Brain argue with each other about like nothing, and then Brain decides to fight with the Skylanders for some reason? When did this change of heart happen? What prompted this? He seemed only mildly fed up with Chaos moments before, and within a few minutes he's ready to give up all his world domination stuff for what? What does he hope to gain from this? What is Brain's, like, moral compass here? What does he want out of betraying Chaos and helping us? It's obvious what he gets by working with Chaos, he gets world domination. But working with the Skylanders, what does he get? What's in it for him? Clearly he's not just an inherently good person doing good things because he wants to or because he thinks it's the right thing to do, because he just helped Chaos do world domination literally minutes ago. So, yeah, Brain is a weird character. Anyway, we beat Chaos, and Brain decides to stay with the Skylanders and become a professor at the academy even though nobody trusts him still, and for good reason, like I'm on with their side with this one. So yeah, that was Skylanders Imaginators. I'm not even joking, that's it, that's the end of the game. And it sure was one of the games of all time. This game is so weird and strange and odd and other synonyms for weird. I definitely think this game was an experience I am glad I had. Despite what the Skylanders community has said about it, I think it's a game that should exist and has a place in the Skylanders franchise. I understand why people don't like it, but I think it's kinda neat. Not the best one, but an interesting one for sure. I can see how this game could be a lot better. See almost everything I said about Brain for that. But I still think it's at least decent. And also really weird and unintentionally funny. So yeah, there is no thesis, this is just me talking about Imaginators. So thank you for watching this long video of me talking about Imaginators. Tune in for the next whatever I talk about, and stand jetback.